Yo everybody, how's it going? How's it going? Oh, I am very full of a lot of Thanksgiving food. Lots of Thanksgiving food. And 2 slices of pie. Oh my gosh. Alright, tame the pretzel. Ooh, looks like I'm gonna be using my webcam for a minute here. Before switching on my VTuber avatar. My little Tatum. Um, I think the only thing I need to set up is the video capture for the game. There we go. I gotta fix the transform on here. There we go. Okay. So, I have a feeling I'm going to be repeating what I've been doing in the game here. I'm gonna try to unlock a new story in Destiny, but yeah, it hasn't been kind to me. Also, oh my gosh, the lighting is so bad on me right now. I'm gonna try something, I'll be right back. Yeah, it looks like, all of the color from the monitor seems to be going and doing that. I think I'm probably gonna turn on the other light here, but I want to check the webcam settings just real quick. I'm not gonna fiddle with them much at all, but yeah. Also, I really hope it's not capturing the audio for any of this here. I'm gonna try that one little change there. Oh. Um. Deactivate, activate. Okay. Yeah, I've begun wondering how many of those stories are unlocked by just like a plain old choice, or if there's something that like I'm supposed to find in a stage. Oh. Let's see here. I think I'm probably gonna go ahead and go with the Lupino one because it still has this, and I assume that means something. So, I feel like this went really badly the last time I did it. Let's see. Okay, so good. Uh, oh yeah, that's right. Now I remember. This game already has music. I can pause my pretzel. Pause my pretzel. Boom. So let me double check though. Yeah, I had a feeling I did not unmute the game. And I do see my webcam is capturing audio, but thankfully I have it muted. Very thankful because it is coming through very loud on there.
But he'd always felt that the rabbit resented him. Lupino was hilarious because he was so down on himself and everyone else. But behind the laughs, he wasn't a happy camper. Was this payback? Or did the Empire have his little white tail in a vice? Lupino must be waiting at the end of the cemetery. Bernardo wanted badly to confront him for his treachery. But what good would that do him? Lupino would betray him. The call was dangerous. Now, Bernardo had a fleeting idea that the two ideas went together somehow. And then it was gone again. Damn ideas. They never stuck around when you needed them.
They sure don't. Pretty sure I said that the last time.
This chest had teaspoons stolen from every inn in Boreas. Oh, and something more useful.
Yeah. Did not mean to do that. Ouch. Okay, here's where I get stabbed.
Bloody and exhausted, Renato finally reached Lupino. The rabbit was practicing shuffling his favorite deck. Now that he knew what the rabbit was, there were a few things about him that Renato didn't find so amusing anymore. You sent me an urgent message saying that you're in danger. Oh, I am. The ravens are coming. Now, I got a clever plan to kidnap Zenobia. Renato wanted to clap shackles on the rabbit and shout, "You're a traitor, and I'm not falling for it." But if there was one thing Renato was sure of, it was that the core of the Sky River was dangerous mostly to its user. If he could put it in the Emperor's hands, old Isengrim III might blow himself and his fleet up with it. Yes, that was it.
Because I'm pretty sure if I do that, he's just gonna stab me. This here leads to some decisions, but, yeah, I'm gonna get stabbed.
Me? A traitor? I'm hurt, said Lapino. Why ever would you say that? We found your code book, said Renato. They hadn't, but he hoped Lapino would blow his cover. You got me, said Lapino. And you know what? I don't regret a thing. It's always about you, isn't it? You're the pretty hero. You get the girl, you get the medal, and what do I get? Rabbit food. I thought you liked rabbit food. Go to hell, said Lapino. And he made a gesture. And 20 ravens came out of nowhere and stabbed Renato to death.
Ugh.
He had tried something bold and paid the price for it.
I had a feeling that was gonna happen.
How had they come to this? They'd been on so many adventures together. Lapino had talked Renato out of prison at least 4 times, and Renato had rescued Lapino from at least 2 lynch mobs. But he'd always felt that the rabbit resented him. Lapino was hilarious because he was so down on himself and everyone else. But behind the laughs, he wasn't a happy camper. Ooh, was this payback? Or did the Empire have his little white tail in a vice? What was behind that door? Renato's nose told him there was treasure there. They must have forgotten it in a hurry. Surely they wouldn't mind if he helped himself to it. After all, they wouldn't even know. This must be that sufficiently advanced technology we always talked about. Ravens were landing everywhere from dropships. He'd better get moving. If they got to Lapino first, the rabbit would give the Empire all the intelligence he'd been stealing from the rebellion, and they'd probably give him a medal. He'd have to be very careful about how he played Lapino. At the slightest hint of danger, the mad rabbit would take off like a rabbit. Bloody and exhausted, Renato finally reached Lapino. The rabbit was practicing shuffling his favorite deck. Now that he knew what the rabbit was, there were a few things about him that Renato didn't find so amusing anymore. You sent me an urgent message saying that you're in danger. Oh, I am. The ravens are coming. Now, I got a clever plan to kidnap Zenobia. Renato wanted to clap shackles on the rabbit and shout, "You're a traitor, and I'm not falling for it." But if there was one thing Renato was sure of, it was that the core of the Sky Ripper was dangerous mostly to its user. If he could put it in the Emperor's hands, old Isengrim III might blow himself and his fleet up with it. Yes, that was it. Renato felt like a real hero, brave and smart. He told the rabbit all about the Sky Ripper's God's Eye core. "I'll go get the core while you attack Zenobia," he told the rabbit. Oh, wait, I have an even better idea. I'll get the core, and you attack Zenobia, said the rabbit. Right, yeah, that is better, agreed Renato. Perfect. The traitor would make sure the Emperor got the core. Now Renato just needed the Emperor to use the core. If he could only get something that the Emperor wanted very badly. Zenobia. He could save her and bait the Emperor at the same time. Right. Now, all Renato had to do was fight his way through Zenobia's invading troops, sneak onto her ship and into her bedroom, and kidnap her without any of her dozens of guards alerting her. Then, he would rely on her love ring to convince her how evil her father was, so she'd run away with him instead of going back to her father, who was going to blow himself up. It did sound a little risky. But Renato had a feeling it would work out somehow. It always did.
Say, how are you guys fixed for life insurance? Renato suddenly wished he had a marshmallow.
Me too. I would love a marshmallow.
Renato was halfway to Zenobia's encampment when Lapino showed up. He was disheveled and distraught. They jumped us. I barely got away. Oh, they got the core. Oh, it was all going according to plan, thought Renato. Now he just needed Zenobia on his side. Yes, that was even better. The Iblis Stone. Zenobia could get it. And then the Emperor would have to pursue them. Wait. No. The gem would corrupt anyone. Even her. That's it, he thought. Even Lapino. Even though Lapino was already a traitor. It would turn him against his secret master, the Emperor. He would try to make himself Emperor. And the Emperor would have to defend himself with the core. Boom. He was a super genius. This is terrible, Renato told the rabbit. If only I had gone for the Iblis Stone. But now it's lost in enemy territory. He handed Lupino a map. It gives the bearer so much power. We can only hope the Emperor never finds it. What was that? Said Lupino. I think someone's following us. I didn't hear anything. Rabbit ears. You go on ahead. I'll check it out. And with that, Lupino hopped off with the map. Renato slinked through Zenobia's ship, making no sound at all. She was curled up on her bed. He'd forgotten how beautiful she was, how sleek, how soft. He tapped her on the shoulder with his sword. She was made of smoke, and he noticed he had a very solid blade to his throat. Did you really think you could capture me? Purred a familiar voice. I just wanted to chat, said Renato. Did you ever wonder why the Emperor adopted you? He needs a sacrifice, someone who truly loves him, to make a bargain with the lost gods. That's a vicious lie. He wants to bring them back. That's crazy. Why would anyone... They could make him immortal. An eater of souls. And with that, her eyes widened. She understood. Renato told her how he had rescued a priest whose order had been massacred, how he had slept in a burnt village. At midnight, the Emperor's victims had come to him in his dreams to tell him of the hideous eldritch rituals they'd been sacrificed in. He could still see those kittens and puppies, their wide, sad eyes, their moist noses. You can't prove that. I've got a witness at the observatory. He couldn't tell her, not yet, why he was really here. He didn't want her to be anywhere near the fleet when her father blew himself and Lupino up. So he told her about how the Emperor's obscene rituals had raised ancient artifacts out of the land. How he'd followed the appalling trail of the hideous horrors His Majesty had perpetrated for the sake of his own immortality. Any of this ring a bell? He said. He told me it was all lies. You've always known when I was lying. I always hated that about you, said Renato. The rebellion had started after atrocities that the Empire hushed up. Renato had rescued a priest whose order had been massacred for one book. He had slept in a burnt village. Dead kittens and puppies had come to tell him what the Emperor had done to them.
Okay. Oh. That's a good point. Yeah, just had a question about whether I can get scanned with my webcam active or not. And no, I have not set that up yet, but gosh heckies, I really do need to set that up. I am going to go ahead and do something though, like gonna turn on my V-Magic Mirror video capture here. But the lighting being so bad right now, like I can't figure it out, so there we go. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, I believe that's everything that I needed to set up. Let's see, commands. Well, I need to do that. So update my Leorin board real quick. I said last time the way I can save time on switching all these is just to set it up to automatically impact like whichever VTuber app I'm using. Instead of right now, I just have it modify one. I can have it modify both. And it doesn't matter if one of them isn't running while that trigger happens. Anyways, I think I'm almost there. Yep. One more thing to update here. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, save, save, okay. And yep, there we go. Okay. Right. Nice. Okay. Finally have a tongue. Yeah, finally. No, I do want to go this way.
Don't you think I'd know if my father started practicing black magic? Why? Would you join in? No! I'd destroy his books and I'd... Oh, God. Okay, you're not completely wrong. They've resurrected one of his victims. Well, look, I mean, look, it's not exactly alive, but it can talk. A true witness, she said.
I was not ready. I didn't expect another scan so soon. Zigzaggy. Zigzaggy. Getting bullied. I'm getting bullied. How could you, Turbo? Top 10 anime betrayals. $70 XP away from a level, come on. Yeah, I should get that.
Renato checked for a false compartment. Nope. observatory was a burning hulk. Dead scientists and black feathers everywhere. The Ravens had taken special care to burn the reanimated witness to cinders. Zenobia stared at the carnage. He didn't want me to hear the witness, did he? I guess not. What's your plan? She asked. So, Renato explained his brilliant gambit. Sending Lapino to get the Iblastone, become super powerful and corrupted, provoke the Emperor into using the core against him, thus blowing up both of them, and hopefully the fleet too. Let me visit your council, she said, shaken. I want to help. Could he really trust her?
No.
She said she had an errand to run, so they met up sometime later in the mountains. She seemed different. It seemed she'd gone and knocked Lapino out with drowsy gas and taken the Iblastone from him. Whoa, what? No, that wasn't a plan. I know. Your plan was terrible. Now where's the council? Couldn't we just go somewhere? Quiet, Talk this over? You lying son of a bitch. They're not here. Her sword was bloody. I told you the truth. Well, mostly. I'm going to kill my father now. But first, I'm going to kill you. And that is exactly what she did.
Wow.
He had tried something bold and paid the price for it.
Dang it, Zenobia. She's so stab happy.
He couldn't tell her, not yet, why he was really here. He didn't want her to be anywhere near the fleet when her father blew himself and Lapino up. So he told her about how the Emperor's obscene rituals had raised ancient artifacts out of the land. How he'd followed the appalling trail of the hideous horrors His Majesty had perpetrated for the sake of his own immortality. Any of this ring a bell? He said. He told me it was all lies. You've always known when I was lying. I always hated that about you, said Renato. The rebellion had started after atrocities that the Empire hushed up. Renato had rescued a priest whose order had been massacred for one book. He had slept in a burnt village. Dead kittens and puppies had come to tell him what the Emperor had done to them. Renato was remembering all his old tricks, and some new ones. Now, he really ought to ask for a raise.
Special ending. I'm pretty sure I want a special
Don't you
ending.
think I'd know if my father started practicing black magic?
Already saw.
cannon trap. Who doesn't love being shot at by cannons? And who kept these things loaded anyway? The observatory was a burning hulk. Dead scientists and black feathers everywhere. The Ravens had taken special care to burn their... So, Renato explained his brilliant gambit. Sending Lapino to get the Iblis Stone, become super powerful and corrupted, provoke the Emperor into using the core against him, thus blowing up both of them, and hopefully the fleet too. "Let me visit your council," she said, shaken. "I want to help."
Could he really trust her?
Not really, but, he kills me if I go the other way, so...
He'd done it. He'd made Zenobia see how evil her father really was. He wished she didn't feel this urge to join in the rebellion. After all, he'd taken care of the Emperor, right? Yeah, but she'd always been conscientious like that. She told him she had to go somewhere first. So Renato gave her the location of the secret base, and they agreed to meet in the ruins. He had a very good feeling about this. What had Zenobia gone off to do? What was more important than meeting the rebel council? Had he made a mistake, sending her to the ruins? No. He knew they could trust each other. He could trust her because she never broke her word. And she could trust him because she could see right through him. Well, she'd probably be there well before him. She at least didn't have to fight her way through rainstorms of ravens. Hypatia had been the first woman who'd ever tried to convince Renato he was smart. He knew he wasn't nearly as clever as he thought he was. But she'd pushed him to think things through. She had a vision of him that was better than his own.
Oh, actually...
Renato had been to a dungeon once where all the chests had teeth and eyes. It had been a short visit. As he came around the bend, there was Lupino, unconscious on the side of the path. And Renato could smell a familiar, sweet, smoky scent. Who? Zenobia. It had to be. She never used a combat spell when she could use drowsy gas. That meant she had the Iblis Stone. What would it do to her? She hated her father now. She'd kill him for sure. The council wouldn't mind if she killed the Emperor, but murdering her father would destroy her. He had to get to whatever ledge she was on and talk her down from it. Renato hated gogglers, but it freaked him out to cut them.
Once I get hit by a gobbler, I swear, it's just like a chain reaction. I start running into all of them.
Long stairs. So he was close to the rebel base. Nothing was on fire. So far, so good. Everyone in the council chamber was dead. Zenobia stood shivering in the courtyard, drenched in blood. Why? He managed. They started arguing with me. I lost my temper and I wanted their blood. Well, not me.
I think I know what to do next.
Why did you take it from Lupino? I had a plan. You had a stupid plan, she said. I'm going to go kill my father now. No, you can't. You'll just take his place. You'll become worse than him. Get out of my way, or I'll kill you too.
Because with this one, she stabs me.
Renata watched her board her ship and sail off. A few days later, the sun dimmed. A great void opened in the sky, black as the Iblastone itself. It stretched and ripped like a vast fatal womb, and a gaze black and pitiless as the sun passed through the void into the land. And so the lost god Iblis once again came into his own, and time stopped. He had tried something bold and paid the price for it.
What? I died. I died.
What had Zenobia gone off to do? What was more important than meeting the rebel council? Had he made a mistake, sending her to the ruins? No. He knew they could trust each other. He could trust her because she never broke her word. And she could trust him because she could see right through him. Well, she'd probably be there well before him. She at least didn't have to fight her way through rainstorms of ravens.
Thank you, Pancake.
Renata
Thank
thought
you.
about Hypatia's kid.
Yeah,
Damn Peter. Cut down by a goggler. He wondered if Peter had
it's
known
like
he
half
was
the time
protecting
when
the
I
Book of
think I
Destinies.
know, oh, this
Or was he just
ends
another
up
brave
killing me.
kid,
I'm wrong.
making his
It's
mummy
the
proud?
other one that ends up killing me. Oh, I need health. Oh, yeah. I'm just gonna try to go straight to this.
As he came around the bend, there was Lupino, unconscious on the side of the path. And Renata could smell a familiar, sweet, smoky scent. Who? Zenobia. It had to be. She never used a combat spell when she could use drowsy gas. That meant... she had the Iblastone. What would it do to her? She hated her father now. She'd kill him for sure. The council wouldn't mind if she killed the Emperor, but murdering her father would destroy her. He had to get to whatever ledge she was on and talk her down from it. The long stairs. So he was close to the rebel base. Nothing was on fire. So far, so good.
Okay.
Everyone in the council chamber was dead. Zenobia stood shivering in the courtyard, drenched in blood. Why? He managed. They started arguing with me. I lost my temper and I wanted their blood. Well, not me. The stone did. Why did you take it from Lupino? I had a plan. You had a stupid plan, she said. I'm going to go kill my father now. No, you can't. You'll just take his place. You'll become worse than him.
There we go. That's the one I need.
Way, or I'll kill you too.
Try to stop her.
You won't kill me, he said. And I won't let you kill the Emperor. Enraged, she raised the sword. You hate him too? He could sense the Iblastone, yearning for his death. But she didn't strike. If you kill him, it'll destroy you. I know you. Shut up! She shouted, her sword trembling. I won't lose you again. Not for anything. Get away from me, he said, and he was very close. I can't lose you again. And he was in reach of her sword now. I hate him! I hate you too! I love you, he said for the very first time. And then she was weeping. He was holding her.
Oh
The
my.
sword had dropped from her hand. He glanced at the Ibla stone. It was no longer the black of the void. It looked like coal. No. It glowed, like a cinder. It was crackling, burning, crumbling into ashes. You've always loved me, haven't you? She said. She was weak. The stone had taken so much from her. Always, he said. She staggered as he helped her up. Let me take you away. Where? The island of Avalon. The sisters will heal you. He will follow us. Then we need the Farfarer, the fastest ship in the Empire.
Oh yeah, now I remember.
The Empire had seized his ship. They'd have to take it back. There it was again. The back door to the portal that went to the center of the fleet. And there it was, his beautiful skycraft, the Farfarer. They would fare very far indeed, beyond the Empire, beyond the reach of the Empire, to the mystical island of Avalon. He didn't know exactly where it was, but he knew he could find it. And they would find peace there. Second star on the right, and straight on till morning, laughed Zenobia. And they laughed together for the first time in a long time. Oh, hey, there's a couple of red spots on your feathers. Oh, wait, not yet.
Boop, 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 boop. There we go.
But they did not go unnoticed. Scout ships lifted off, and the long lance of the Imperial flagship. Bernardo turned downwind to gain speed. The Raven ships could pursue, but they couldn't close. The Farspeaker croaked, "Return her and live!" "Go sacrifice yourself," yelled Bernardo. "Then you won't have her either." On the flagship, the Emperor was readying some arcane weapon. It couldn't be. It was the core. A devastating beam lanced out of the flagship. Bernardo zigzagged wildly to keep the Farfair out of it. Now the Raven scout ships were closing the distance, and the beam was getting closer too. Then came a blinding flash, and the air was searingly hot all around him. There was a thunderous, deafening roar. He could smell burnt oak and burnt feathers and burnt flesh. But when he could hear and see again, they were alive and unhurt. And they were alone in the sky. Zenobia embraced him. They had done it. Through luck and through love, they had won the war. "Avalon, here we come," he said as he held her arms wide in the prow of the boat and let her feel its speed. "Maybe the real Avalon is wherever we're together," she said. And so, after a bit of an argument, Bernardo and Zenobia went to one of the two Avalons. The one shrouded in mists, or the one in their hearts. But which one they went to, I'll never tell. He'd done it. He'd forged his own destiny. Well, he hadn't actually done it, but he knew what he would do. Bernardo smiled at the book. He practically wanted to kiss it. The kid's sacrifice hadn't been in vain. He'd saved the book and saved the world. Bernardo owed him and his mother so much. Bernardo lowered the mainsail and let the Farfarer shoot forward in the breeze. Second star to the right, and straight on till morning. This time, he would win.
Yep.
The clouds parted over the Isles of Boreas. It was time to choose. The rebellion was in trouble. Ravens were scouting for the secret rebel base. They needed a game changer. Pieces of the Sky Ripper had surfaced. Bernardo knew that using it could go catastrophically wrong, but he was sure he could figure out how to use it safely. Also, a temple had risen out of empty desert. The Iblis stone was hidden there. It was a dangerous artifact. It could corrupt its user into a bloodthirsty monster. Maybe he could find a way to use it, to take its power without surrendering to its wickedness. And also, his old friend Lapino needed rescuing. Of course, Bernardo had a pretty strong suspicion that Lapino had betrayed the rebellion, and he had a gut feeling that he needed to use that to his advantage. The island was windswept desert. No one went there except ostriches and ostrich hunters. The Iblis stone. It would whisper promises in his ear, offer him power for blood. But this time, Bernardo was sure he could master it. And so, Bernardo went ostrich hunting. Every child could sing verses about the Sky Ripper, but ancient codices held hints of other things. A stone that ate souls, a ruby that drank blood, a jewel only a righteous man could give away. Were all these things the Iblis stone? Long hidden in a buried temple? Another ancient item that was only resurfacing
Oh
now?
no. Oh.
Drawn up from the deeps by the Emperor's horrific rituals?
Oh. I had a feeling that it was a little bit too quiet. Something was gonna happen.
What was he doing here? Last time, The stone had fought him for possession of his own
That's
soul.
a really good scan, though. I like that. Not sure if I would call it a forehead.
Ravens were already here.
Cawing in frustration.
They were still searching for a way in. Good.
And he hadn't come too late. Wait, what? How was he outside? Hadn't he taken an elevator into the depths of the earth? There had to be some way to use the Iblis stone. It was old, wasn't it? People are so much cleverer now. And Renato was pretty sure he was cleverer than most people. Sorry, mustache, thought Renato. The Ravens at least could not get past this point. Obviously, the temple builders knew how to deal with tomb raiders. fracking.
Pretty much, pretty much.
It was a stone of the purest blackness. It reflected no light, like a void made solid. Nervous, he picked it up. Who said that? It was the stone. Eager. Thirsty. That seemed tempting and terribly wrong. Zenobia was the Emperor's greatest general and a potent witch. But they had been close once, and he had a sneaking suspicion the gem would try to control him. Why not capture the core of Sky Ripper instead? It was the eye of a lost god torn out by the Transcendent Emperor to power his greatest weapon. "It's the core," said the stone anxiously. But even though Renato knew how evil the gem was, he had a clever plan for dealing with it.
So I think I want to do this one here. Find the gem, find Zenobia, spare Zenobia, throw the gem. So yeah, I think I want to go find Zenobia. Okay.
Why was he listening to a talking rock? Ah, but the rock had a point. If the stone could truly turn him into a powerful warrior, he could defeat the Emperor with the very weapon the wicked old toad had sought for himself. To be a hero, you had to sacrifice old friends sometimes, especially when they've become enemies. As he placed the impossibly black crystal in his gauntlet, Renato had a sudden vision. Charred fields covered in dead ravens below a black sun. Was it the time of the lost gods before the Transcendent Emperor? Was it the future? Feed these souls, it whispered. Take the power. He could feel the stone's hunger for souls, its thirst for blood. All right, I get it. This was going to be interesting. Renato had heard stories of a dungeon where chests were filled with potions and weapons. Fairy tales. On Zenobia's island were no match for Renato. They screamed as the stones sucked out their souls, and with each death, he felt stronger. Take the power, the stone told him.
couldn't do worse with Zenobia than he'd done with the core, could he? He didn't even need to see the gogglers this time. He could smell seared flesh. And like every other predator, they only eat their meat cooked. Preferably alive. Well, the eyes have had it.
True that.
Zenobia was waiting for Renato. She was alone, confident as always. Fire danced at the tips of her claws.
Are you here to surrender? She seemed as cocksure as he felt. But she didn't know he had the stone. And I've missed you too, love. He chuckled.
She spotted the stone and bolted without another word. Hey! Wanna hook up?
Finally, Renato caught up to her. He had never seen her scared before. At school, she'd been the determined, brave one. Now her eyes were wide, frightened. He didn't like seeing her this way. "Kill her," whispered the stone. "You cannot win your rebellion without it." "Please." "No," said Zenobia. "Not that way." Oh, they had been so close once. Could he really feed her soul to his demonic gem? But if he spared her, he would not get the full power of the stone. Oh, how could he be the hero he wanted to be? With a flick of his wrist, he slashed Zenobia's throat. Her eyes widened even more. And then the light went out of them. Renato felt amazing. Power was rushing into him like water from a burst dam. Oh, such brilliance, exulted the Iblis stone. Tasty.
He felt a bit bad about killing her. He was pretty sure she still loved him. But needs must when the devil drives. Renato returned to the Farfarer and set a course for the Nexus. The Empire had a communication outpost there. He could call the Emperor directly.
It was time to seize the outpost and let the Emperor know what he had done. The Nexus was beautiful. He'd never realized how beautiful. Everything glowed. The wind was so sweet. The sun so soft. The stones so warm. The black raven feathers. Black feathers. Suddenly, his eyes are filled with them. He's falling through smoke under a dead sun. His voice calls him home. Is this a vision? Whose? Is this the time of the lost gods? Or the future? No matter. What mattered now was killing his way to the Imperial outpost and challenging the Emperor from there.
This one contained nothing but unmatched gloves. And something more useful. Up ahead was Lapino. What was he doing here?
Bernardo! Hey, buddy! Hey there, old buddy! Please don't kill me!
Why would I kill you? Asked Bernardo, although he had been thinking about it.
Well, you've become... look, I mean, no disrespect at all here. Kind of evil? Maybe you should, I don't know, go to the mountains to have a think? See if maybe you're sure the stone is not all that healthy a thing to keep?
I suppose you wanted, Bernardo said, and poked Lapino in the chest for emphasis. Oh, had he just killed Lapino?
Oh my gosh.
Damn it.
Oh. I'm a meanie. Bye, Lapino.
He'd go to the outpost, use their far speaker, tell the Emperor what he'd done, and then he'd go to the secret rebel base, let them know he was ready to lead them to victory. Renato rampaged through the Imperial outpost like a water buffalo rampaging. At the last moment, he remembered not to kill the far speaker toad. After all, he wanted a word with the Emperor. But there was only silence. The Emperor was scared, like little girl. Well, he would gather the rebel army and slaughter the Imperial fleet. Applauded the Iblistone. Tremendous. Then the Emperor would have to answer his far speaker, wouldn't he? Who are you? Asked a distant voice that sounded uncomfortably like Zenobia. What have you become? The mountains. Go to the mountains, urged another that sounded a bit like Lapino. Renato called the rebel council to let them know to gather their forces. Then he killed the far speaker toad. Why? Oh, because to make sure his sword was sharp. Oh no, that's awful. So no one else could use it. Yes, that's it. Then he set off for the ruins and the secret rebel base. The ruins were crawling with ravens. Probably looking for the secret base, Renato thought. But then he realized they're probably looking for me. They must be very scared of me. Well, here I am! You are the best warrior ever, whispered the Iblistone. And he had to agree with it, for once. Who was as good as Renato? Why hadn't the kid opened the Book of Destinies? At least he'd have known about that goggler. Why hadn't Hypatia opened it? War. And this was kind of terrifying. What if they had? And what had happened had been the best future they could find. Renato was so happy. The stone was the best friend he'd ever had. Really? Who would bury such a treasure in the desert? Soon, he'd go rally the rebellion and usher a new age for the islands of Erda. Urged the stone. Let me make you Emperor. Come to think of it, Renato thought as he put down another raven, why shouldn't I be Emperor? How did anybody get to be Emperor anyway? By making war. I mean, not counting the transcendent Emperor, obviously, who had banished the lost gods and started time. Yes. He should be Emperor. He would make a great Emperor. Right, Stone? Oh, right, boss. The long stairs. So he was close to the rebel base. Nothing was on fire. So far, so good.
And here comes the fun part.
Renato strode into the council. Let's do this thing. Let's make me Emperor. They looked confused and nervous. Ah, had he mentioned the Emperor thing? Yeah, he meant to bring that up later. I mean, let's go win this rebellion. He waved his sword around encouragingly. They ran. Cowards. He'd stop them. He cut down a few to inspire the others. But soon, there was no one to cut down. Well then, he'd have to attack the fleet alone. More for me, he said. Unless it was the stone that said it. Traitors. Traitors, all of them. They'd run rather than following him, rather than cheering him. What should he do to the cowards? Anything he wanted to. After all, he was a true hero, the best warrior there ever was. No one could stop him now.
It's
But
true.
first,
It's true.
finish him. The Emperor, that is. Where was the rebel fleet? They weren't even trying an assault. They were going to miss a day in history. The downfall of this dynasty, and a new one to take its place. He didn't have to kill all the ravens. He could enslave them, and enslave the toads too. All the animals would worship him as a god, for he had once been a god.
He would willingly give them their blood and their souls. And the world would change, would become familiar again. Renato was glowing with dark power. Already the sun had dimmed. He could do anything, he realized. He could wrap the island safely in smoke again. He was beyond a hero. He was going to become a god again. How odd, he thought, that the Ibnstone had nothing to say about any of it. Well, no matter. Once he killed this petty toad emperor, he would bring back the Black Sun. Rush. Oh. Soon he'd confront the Emperor. Funny that this whole war had come about because the Emperor feared death. And now it was coming for him. There was some sort of lesson there, wasn't there? He found the Emperor and the Council huddling by his ship, plotting. They saw him and cowered before him.
Back to hell, fiend.
Croaked the Emperor desperately.
In the name of the Transcendent Emperor!
Croaked the Speaker. They held some arcane items he didn't recognize.
Oh, yeah.
He simply flexed his will and sucked their souls out of their bodies. And Iblis exulted. It is finished. And the void that had been a mere stone on a sword expanded. It stretched and ripped like a vast womb. And a gaze, black and pitiless as the sun, passed through the void into the land. And so time ended.
Sweet. That's a good ending. Everyone's happy. Aha. Okay, I'm gonna do a modification of that last run.
The clouds parted over the Isles of Boreas. It was time to choose. The rebellion was in trouble. Ravens were scouting for the secret rebel base. They needed a game changer.
Pieces of the Sky Ripper had surfaced. Renato knew that using it could go catastrophically wrong. But he was sure he could figure out how to use it safely. Also, a temple had risen out of empty desert. The Iblis Stone was hidden there. It was a dangerous artifact. It could corrupt its user into a bloodthirsty monster. Maybe he could find a way to use it. to take its power without surrendering to its wickedness. And also, his old friend Lapino needed rescuing. Of course, Renato had a pretty strong suspicion that Lapino had betrayed the rebellion, and he had a gut feeling that he needed to use that to his advantage. The island was windswept desert. No one went there except ostriches and ostrich hunters. The Iblis Stone. It would whisper promises in his ear, offer him power for blood. But this time, Renato was sure he could master it. And so, Renato went ostrich hunting.
Yeah.
Every child could sing verses about the Sky Ripper, but ancient codices held hints of other things. A stone
Oh,
that
no.
ate souls, a ruby that drank blood, a jewel only a righteous man could give away.
Oh my
Were
gosh.
all these
That's
things
so
the
good.
Iblis Stone? Long hidden in a buried
Oh,
temple.
Thank you
Another
very
ancient
much,
item that was
Turbo. Oh my
only
gosh.
resurfacing now. Drawn up from the deeps by the Emperor's horrific rituals.
I was looking at my phone and I see something happen in Twitch chat and I look up and boom. Perfect, perfect. Oh yeah, what's over here? That's all? Okay.
What was he doing here? Last time, the stone had fought him for possession of his own soul. Don't go away. The ravens were already here, cawing in frustration. They were still searching for a way in. Good. Then he hadn't come too late. I'll just have a dash, thought Renato. You can't really reason with an energy ball, he thought.
Just haven't figured out the right way to do
There
it.
was some way to use the Iblis Stone. It was old, wasn't it? People are so much cleverer now. And Renato was pretty sure he was cleverer than most people. The ravens at least could not get past this point. Obviously, the temple builders knew how to deal with tomb raiders. Renato could feel his fur singe. It was a stone of the purest blackness. It reflected no light, like a void made solid. It was the stone, eager, thirsty. Kill the Emperor's daughter. That seemed tempting and terribly wrong. Zenobia was the Emperor's greatest general and a potent witch. But they had been close once, and he had a sneaking suspicion the gem would try to control him. Why not capture the core of Sky Ripper instead? It was the eye of a lost god torn out by the Transcendent Emperor to power his greatest weapon. "What's the core?" said the stone anxiously. But even though Renato knew how evil the gem was, he had a clever plan for dealing with it.
Okay, let me double check here. What have I done? Find the gem, I've gone and then found the core, okay. And attack the outpost. Gem core outpost. Gem core outpost. Gem core scientists. Uh-huh, okay. Okay, so I think I want to go find the core.
The stone bothered him. He hated being told what to do. Wasn't that why he joined the rebellion? Wasn't that why he'd refused to be a soldier? He'd agreed to come on board only if he could freelance. The stone felt a bit clingy, and he had a feeling it did not have his best interests at heart. The sage Calaveras had told him where to find the Sky Ripper, a weapon capable of challenging the gods. Even without its armature, the core would still possess great power. He would go there. The moment he landed the Farfarer, Renato had a rare feeling of regret. It's not too late, he thought. He could turn around and sail for Zenobia's island. He frowned. Wait a minute. He didn't want to kill Zenobia, did he? Sure, technically she was the enemy, but they'd been at sword food school together. They'd never been lovers, but somehow they'd been closer. She'd told him every secret about herself. Except the biggest one. That she was the Emperor's daughter. No. Kill Zenobia, whispered the stone. Before it's too late. The waterfall was spectacular. We passed this way but once. Yeah, whatever. There was something sour in the air. Like the earth had ruptured over something that had been fermenting for a very long time. The stone hadn't lied about what it could do for him. With each raven he cut down,
He felt a jolt of power flowing into his arm. "You're weak," whispered the stone. "The core will kill you." "Are you afraid of it?" "No, don't be ridiculous," it chuckled. But it's unstable. It will poison you if someone just carry it, and if you try to use it, it will explode catastrophically. Renato did not trust rocks that talked in his head. He went onwards. It looked like they'd forgotten to turn off their flamethrower. As he approached the core, the stone became hysterical. "No, it's too much power. We'll rip a hole in space and time." He had a sudden vision of plunging his gauntlet into the core and dying in anguish. That wasn't his vision, was it? The stone had sent him its darkest fears, hadn't it? He had a sudden impulse to do exactly that. He raised his right fist and plunged it into the core. There was a rush of light. He thought he could hear the stone screaming. And then he passed out. When Renato came to, the core was gone. But the Iblis stone was no longer black, but glowing with a blue light. And it was silent. "I can't hear you," he sang out, and "You?" It didn't answer. "Ha!" he said. He had defeated the demonic gem with the power of his mind. He felt invincible. It was time to attack the Imperial outpost on the Nexus. Take the battle to the enemy. But among the huge crystals, there was also an observatory. A wise man would probably ask the scientists exactly what he had first. How wise was he?
Okay, I'm pretty sure I've taken both of these options. Gem Core Outpost. Oops, wrong button. So Gem Core Outpost Zenobia. Gem Core Outpost Council. Armature Core. Armature Core. Lupino Core. Gem... Gem Core Scientists Mediate. Okay, so it looks like I want to meet the scientists and not mediate. Meditate? I don't want to meditate though. Okay. Yep, that's what I'm gonna do then. So meet the scientists.
As the Farfarer made its way toward the Nexus, Renato watched sparks fly out of the core. The Iblis stone sucked them in hungrily. You'd think the stone would want this kind of power, wouldn't it? Thought Renato. Well, the scientists would explain it all.
This time, Renato was sure he'd figured out how to use the core safely.
See? He'd trusted his gut, and it had worked out. That's what it meant to be a hero. To ignore the naysayers and the oddmakers, and do what you knew was right, and have it turn out to be the right thing. Well, he wasn't worried. Once he got to the observatory, the scientist toads could explain it. Then he could carry the war into the enemy's camp and destroy them all. Oh dear, he was getting a little bloodthirsty, wasn't he? Renato had never felt better in his life. Normally, a battle would wear him down and he would need a night's sleep. Now he felt like he could go all night and all day. He felt like people were cheering him on, and he could practically hear their applause as he slew one raven after another.
Okay.
The Imperial fleet was closing in on the rebels, forcing them to come out and fight. Renato was itching to bring the fight to the enemy. He had to remind himself not to be too reckless. If he was a weapons engineer, Renato would make the cannonballs go much faster. And fire randomly, obviously. Sparkly, thought Renato. The toads at the observatory measured the stone with their occult devices. I fed it the core of Skyripper, explained Renato. No more feed me blood and souls.
But the core is not an unlimited energy source,
said one toad. Another said,
there's a feedback loop, you see, which could overload the stone. The stone doesn't actually feed on souls,
claimed a third.
but on pain of killing another sentient being. If you can truly be at peace with yourself, it would not overload.
This was all very confusing. At peace? Yes, the mountains were peaceful and quiet, but he now had the power to turn the tides. He should report to the Rebellion Council and prepare for the decisive battle.
Let me double check here. I'm pretty sure I've already done everything up to going and meditating. Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Renato couldn't make sense of anything the toads said, and listening to them argue made him restless. The Iblis Stone had made him a power in his own right. The core had kicked the Iblis Stone out of his head by filling it with more power than it could eat. It was time to meet the leadership of the rebellion. It was time to go to the ruins where they had hidden their secret base.
He was ready for anything the ravens could throw at him. His sword felt ready too. It seemed to know what he wanted most.
Okay.
Hey, is that a word for a lot of ravens? Like a doofus of ravens?
The Iblis Stone wasn't pestering him anymore. Good. He didn't want to chit-chat, not with anybody. He didn't want to think about Zenobia or Lapino. He just wanted to fight.
This was almost fun. Pain of killing another sentient being? What was that toad talking about anyway? He felt no pain, only pleasure as each filthy raven fell by his sword and the stone glowed brighter and brighter. And all the while, those voices were cheering him on, like he was in the arena, winning bout after bout.
The long stairs. So he was close to the rebel base. Nothing was on fire. So far, so good.
Also, I want to test something real quick. I think this is the right command to use. Oh my gosh, yes. I did the pulse. I did the pulse. I've been meaning to use the pulse for a while now.
He slew and slew across the ruins and into the labyrinth that hid the secret rebel base.
Wow.
He was surprised not to see any defenders or even any of the council toads.
Uh-oh.
When he reached the council chambers, there were still no toads, only filthy ravens. Stop him! He's gone mad!
Uh-huh.
One raven shouted until he had hacked them all down. There was not a single toad anywhere. No doubt they'd all been taken prisoner, so it was up to him to take revenge upon the Imperial fleet.
But where had they taken the council? It couldn't be good that the Empire had not only found the secret rebel base, but killed or captured everyone there, no matter. He was on a roll.
Oh.
He headed full speed towards the Imperial fleet. He would be the fox who took down 100 warships.
Cool.
He charged. The Imperial fleet was huge and deadly, but he was deadlier.
The crowd was cheering him on. He could practically hear it. Reynardo, the hero of the rebellion.
Renato had a feeling that was the back door to something. But what? As he slew his way across the fleet, Renato thought he could hear a small voice whispering in his ear.
Look at your gauntlet, you idiot, it said. Oh, for heaven's sake, he thought. Can't I be alone in my own head? Look at the stone. I'm busy, he told the voice. Talk later. And it will be too late. The voice. Don't be so bloody thick. Piss off, he told the voice and kept up his slaying.
Soon he'd confront the Emperor. Again. This time, he'd make an end of him. He'd screwed up last time, but he had a good feeling about this time.
Mm-hmm.
There was the Emperor. Renato cut down his elite guard. The exalted Toad cowered fearfully. He had sought to evade death and only made death come to him faster. Renato savored the moment. And then, too quick, it was over. He stood over the dead Emperor.
Death to tyranny! He shouted. Go, House, go!
Zenobia stepped out of the shadows.
You have to stop, she said. You've killed everyone. Our ravens, your rebels. You murdered the whole rebel council.
What?
And the ravens killed the council. You big idiot. They don't even know what the secret base is. Shouted Lapino, who was with her for some reason. Look at the stone, said Zenobia. It was black as night. Blacker. But I fed it the core, said Renato. It was glowing. Well, who needs a core? He said, and he attacked. Zenobia conjured her best, and Lapino hopped around like a mad rabbit, but he killed them both easily. I am unstoppable, he orated at the blood-soaked walls. I alone shall be emperor. The tiny voice inside him screamed. That doesn't even sound like you big fanny. The stone has stolen your mind. But he ignored it. Who listens to voices in their heads anyway?
Oh my.
Madmen, that's who.
New story completed. Story number 14. No pain, no gain. What kind of hero are you? A hero who ignores personal safety to cheerfully fight for the rebellion. +5 fire essence, which I do not need. Let's see. Let's see. So go find the gem. Find the gem. Find the gem. Okay, let's figure out where I need to make a change. So gem, Zenobia, Zenobia. Gem core scientist. Gem core. I think I want gem Zenobia. Yeah, we're gonna do gem Zenobia. Okay, and that might be the last one for the evening. It's already getting a little bit late for me. I have not had my shift for work canceled yet. They might still call me.
The clouds parted over the Isles of Boreas. It was time to choose. The rebellion was in trouble. Ravens were scouting for the secret rebel base. They needed a game changer.
Pieces of the Sky Ripper had surfaced. Renato knew that using it could go catastrophically wrong, but he was sure he could figure out how to use it safely. Also, a temple had risen out of empty desert. The Iblis stone was hidden there. It was a dangerous artifact. It could corrupt its user into a bloodthirsty monster. Maybe he could find a way to use it, to take its power without surrendering to its wickedness. And also, his old friend Lapino needed rescuing. Of course, Renato had a pretty strong suspicion that Lapino had betrayed the rebellion, and he had a gut feeling that he needed to use that to his advantage. The island was windswept desert.
So far, it
No
looks
one went
like
there except ostriches.
the pass
ostrich
that the
hunters.
truck goes
The
through
Iblis stone
probably is gonna be
could
able to
whisper
make it through
promises
tonight.
in his ear, offering power for
Just
blood.
patchy freezing fog,
time-
it says.
Renato was sure he could master it.
And so, Bernardo went ostrich hunting. Every child could sing verses about the Sky Ripper, but ancient codices held hints of other things. A stone that ate souls, a ruby that drank blood, a jewel only a righteous man could give away.
Oh my gosh.
Were all these things the Iblis stone? Long hidden in a buried temple? Another ancient item that was only resurfacing now? Drawn up from the deeps by the Emperor's horrific rituals?
Found myself a really nice Thanksgiving meal tweet. Like, oh, so much good looking food.
What
And I
was he
already
doing
stuffed
here?
my face, but it looks so
Last
good.
time, the stone had fought him for possession of his own soul.
Oh yeah.
The Ravens were already here, cawing in frustration. They were still searching for a way in. Good. Then he hadn't come too late. A chest that shiny deserved to be opened.
Mm-hmm. Heck yeah.
There had to be some way to use the Iblis stone. It was old, wasn't it? People are so much cleverer now. And Renato was pretty sure he was cleverer than most people. The Ravens at least could not get past this point. Obviously, the temple builders knew how to deal with Tomb Raiders. If you can't stand the heat, you thought, stay out of the flamethrower.
It was a stone of the purest blackness. It reflected no light, like a void made.
Uh-huh.
It was the stone, eager, thirsty. That seemed tempting and terribly wrong. Zenobia was the Emperor's greatest general and a potent witch.
Yeah.
But there had
Thirsty
been close
stones, the
ones,
worst
And
kind
he
of
had a sneaking
stones.
suspicion the gem would try to control him.
Why not capture the core of Sky Ripper instead? It was the eye of a lost god torn out by the transcendent Emperor to power his greatest weapon. Not the core, said the stone anxiously.
But even though Renato knew how evil the gem was, he had a clever plan for dealing with it.
So, gem, Zenobia, okay. Gem core, yep.
Why was he listening to a talking rock? Ah, but the rock had a point. If the stone could truly turn him into a powerful warrior, he could defeat the Emperor with the very weapon the wicked old toad had sought for himself.
To be a hero, you had to sacrifice old friends sometimes, especially when they've become enemies.
As he placed the impossibly black crystal in his gauntlet, Renato had a sudden vision. Charred fields covered in dead ravens below a black sun.
Was it the time of the lost gods before the transcendent emperor? Was it the future? Feed the souls, it whispered. Take the power. He could feel the stone's hunger for souls, its thirst for blood. All right, I get it.
This was going to be interesting. There was a cat in this one, and something useful.
The ravens on Zenobia's island were no match for Renato. They screamed as the stones sucked out their souls. And with each death, he felt stronger. Take the power, the stone told him.
Also, oh no. I just got it in my head, what if I picked the wrong
He couldn't
choice?
do worse with Zenobia than he'd done with the core, could he? Zenobia was waiting for Renato.
Yeah.
Finally, Renato caught up to her. He had never seen her scared before. At school, she'd been the determined, brave one. Now her eyes were wide, frightened. He didn't like seeing her this way. Kill her, whispered the stone. You cannot win your rebellion without it. Please. No, said Zenobia. Not that way. Oh, they had been so close once. Could he really feed her soul to his demonic gem? But if he spared her, he would not get the full power of the stone. Oh, how could he be the hero he wanted to be?
Okay, gotta double check this. Gem Zenobia, kill Zenobia. Just making sure here, because I have replayed a couple of these already. Okay, spare Zenobia, and then I don't throw the gem. Okay. Kill Zenobia, meet Council. Okay, actually, okay. I think I get it. I think I get it.
Reynardo hesitated. Zenobia was his greatest enemy. She was the Emperor's daughter and his greatest general, and the single person Reynardo least wanted to remove from this world, especially that way. She was holding her arms out before her, hands fluttering, fending him off with hopeless urgency. Nope, she was weaving a spell. He couldn't move.
This thing is evil, she said. She slid the Iblistone out of its slot in his gauntlet and slipped it into a bag. Maybe we can learn from it.
She eyed him with a strange, wry, apologetic look. I missed you too. And before he could move again, she was gone. Learned from the Iblistone? What did that mean? Would she take it to the palace or to the observatory on the Nexus? If she thought it was evil, she wouldn't want it in the palace.
And, after all, it was evil, wasn't it?
Maybe I can outrace her to the observatory, thought Reynardo. Cats can run faster, but foxes can run longer. Reynardo felt a little sick. Ever since Zenobia had taken the stone from him, he'd felt an ache that wouldn't go away. He missed it. He wanted it back. He needed it back. Why hadn't he killed her when he had the chance? She was the enemy. He hadn't even seen her in 14 years. Why had he hesitated? You're a sucker for an empowered woman. Reynardo kicked himself. Don't make that mistake again. Zenobia thought the stone was evil. Was it?
Well, yes, but he still longed to have it back.
He'd felt so good killing ravens with it, and yet he'd felt unclean ever since he'd touched it. She confused him. She'd made him want to be a better fox, and then she'd abandoned him, never telling him she was the Emperor's daughter, never contacting him since. Well, who was she to tell him the stone was evil?
Magical energy balls, immune to the laws of gravity.
Gravity for me.
scientist toads were pointing arcane instruments at the stone and looking at it through prisms and reflections.
Mine, said Renato as he took back the stone.
Well, we need that for science.
Croaked the toads. So he killed them. He felt better immediately. Smarter, too. I thought you'd never come for me, whispered the stone.
Then, a far-speaker toad croaked, and something like Zenobia's voice.
Leonardo, leave the stone with the toads. It will swallow your soul. You'll kill everyone you love.
That did seem vaguely familiar. But Renato had an army to lead, an empire to bring down.
Whispered the stone. It was right. Wasn't Zenobia the Emperor's greatest general? Wasn't Renato fighting for the rebellion? Of course you wouldn't want him to have it. Wouldn't you make a better emperor than Rising of the Third? Added the stone. You know what? I would, thought Renato. Or maybe he said it out loud. He would go see the council and lead their armies to victory. All he had to do was call them on the far speaker. Ah, damn. Well, wouldn't they be surprised anyway? Ah, the ruins. Renato had come there as a kid when it was still the fabulous city of Ubar, before the Emperor's ravens had come to pillage ancient books from its library and destroyed it. Now the rebel council lay hidden underneath the ruins. And between here and there, all these ravens to kill. They deserved it for what they'd done to the city. And the faster he could kill them, the more of a rush they gave him.
Tried to be nice to Zenobia, not killing her and all. And what did she do? She stole the gem from him and made him kill all those scientists. Next time she'd see.
Whispered the stone. Ravens? Renato knew how the stone felt. Each raven he killed gave him a little jolt of pleasure. But he could only kill them so fast, and the pleasure wore off too quickly. Hopefully soon he would face a more powerful adversary. Yes, whispered the stone. The more power your enemy has, the more power I give you. I will make you emperor. But not with a bunch of mangy ravens. As he reached the secret entrance, he was shocked to see Zenobia talking with the council. She bore a white flag. Whispered the stone. What are you doing here, love? Bernardo demanded. Come for the brown muffins?
She's worried about you.
Croaked the council speaker.
We all are.
You're not yourself, Zenobia said. Before they could get into the rest of the intervention, he leapt at her. Unfortunately, the council speaker blocked him, so he slew her and the other council members. I'm not giving up, cried Zenobia as she darted off into the ruins. I think I just killed the entire rebel council, said Renato.
Heck yeah.
See how much power they've given you.
But they were on my side, weren't they?
No one is on your side. Except for me.
He set sail for the fleet. There, at least, there would be enemies to kill. Unless that was the Iblastone talking. He could never be sure. Anyway, who needed other rebels here? They'd only get in the way. A true hero fights alone after he's got all his friends killed.
Well, gotta do what you gotta do, right?
There it was again. The back door to the portal that went to the center of the fleet.
The world was so beautiful. Everything was glowing, breathing, alive. Except, okay, the ravens he'd killed. But the wind was alive, like a million fingers caressing his hair. He'd never felt so powerful. He'd never felt so sexy. Somewhere down the path would be the Emperor. Bernardo would slay him, most powerful man in Erda. And the Iblastone would give Renato all that power. And he would be Emperor. And then he would set everyone free. Guys you have. At last, he was face to face with Zenobia. She was still unarmed. No fire crackled from her claws.
Excellent. Kill her.
Whispered the stone. He raised his sword for the killing blow. Is this what you really want? She asked. Or is it what the stone wants?
Think of the power.
Insisted the stone. I don't want to kill you, he told Zenobia, his arm still raised. I know, but he could not put the sword down. It wants blood, he told her. I know. Oh, help me, he said. She stabbed herself. Take my blood, she said. cried the Iblastone.
Oh no! Why did you...
He ran to embrace her, and she plunged her bloody dagger into his heart. Why? He said, we'll be together in the
Oh,
halls of the Valiant.
oh my
She
gosh.
said, I love you, he said. Thank you. And the Iblastone screamed, and then it began to glow. It burst into flames. It burned like an ember. And then it was ash that blew away in the wind. And Zenobia and Renato died in each other's arms.
Oh. Story number 6, Run Zenobia Run. What kind of hero are you? A hero who fights alone after he's got all his friends killed. Champ. PogChamp even. Reward 20 ore. Okay, I don't need that ore, but thank you, game. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm gonna go ahead and find a raid target here. Things went really well tonight, in terms of the game here. I unlocked, at least like 3 or 4 of these stories here. I finally realized how to actually, like, figure out from the choices made and all that, like, okay, what do I want to do next time, so I find a different ending. Anyways, let's see here. Quit to main menu, or... yeah, I'm pretty sure it already saved my progress. So I'm just gonna quit to desktop. Beep. Beep boop. Okay. Well, that was heckin' good. That was heckin' fun. Productive stream. Okay. Oop. There's the intro fighters. They're back. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and put on a little bit of pretzel while I check out who's actually streaming right now. Try to find someone playing something that I usually stream. Oh, wow. There's some good streamers right now. Okay. Da, 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 da. Ooh, some Super Animal Royale. I haven't played CSGO on stream in a long time. Marbles on stream is nice, but I don't really play that on stream myself. I'm gonna go ahead and raid into Ghost Boy Ghoul and their Super Animal Royale stream. It should be heckin' fun. Let's see. Raid channel. And also, before I go ahead and start the raid here, I want to mention I will be back as usual on Saturday for Super Animal Royale Saturday. I don't remember there being anything special that I need to mention for that, but yeah. So, let me go ahead and hit start raid here. Alright, so thanks again, everybody, both the live viewers and the ones watching the VOD later on YouTube or Twitch. I love you all, and oh my gosh, I hope you have a great rest of your evening or day, and have some fun in Ghost Boy's channel. Alright, peace out.